to the sustainable development of Ghana's hydrocarbon resources. This milestone underscores the government's unwavering commitment to fostering a transparent, investor-friendly, and resilient energy sector that delivers long-term value for the Ghanaian people. Considering the twists and chief political potshots contained in the statement, the minority is compelled to react as follows. A. ENI Ghana, following approval by the Petroleum Commission under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration, drilled a well known as the Akuma 1X well in the Cape 3 Point Block 4 contract area in 2019 and announced a discovery of gas and condensate from that well on 9th May 2019, with a further additional upside for gas and oil that will require further drilling to be confirmed. ENI's press release announcing the Akuma discovery was published at its website on 9th May 2019 with the subject ENI announces Akuma discovery in CTP Block 4 offshore Ghana on its website with the link below. And I've attached the link. When I give the statement to you, you'll see it. On 6th July 2021, ENI once again announced a significant discovery of oil following its drilling of another well known as the Eban 1X. The Eban discovery thus became the second discovery by ENI within 2 years. ENI published Eban discovery at its website again on 6th July 2021, and I've attached the link to this announcement. It is instructive to note that both the Akuma and Eban discoveries were made under Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration and were among other discoveries made under that administration as a result of a deliberate plan for reserve replacement. The Akuma and Eban discoveries were all made within Cape 3 Point Block 4 contract area under the Cape 3 Point CPT Block 4 Petroleum Agreement, which came to Parliament. ENI, as required by the CTP Block 4 Petroleum Agreement, formally issued 2 separate notices of discovery to the then Ministry of Energy, the Petroleum Commission, and the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. These discoveries were also announced or published by sections of the Ghanaian media. As provided for by the CTP Block 4 Petroleum Agreement, ENI is to meet its obligation to conduct appraisals of each of the 2 discoveries. Of each of the 2 discoveries, which is Akuma and Eban, requested the Akufo-Addo administration, Bawumia administration, to be permitted to effect a single but joint appraisal of the 2 discoveries to save costs and also fast-track the appraisal program to result in a shorter field development to production cycle in the event that the discoveries are found to be commercial upon appraisal. The Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration, as part of its commitment to speed up the processes involved in bringing Ghana's hydrocarbon resources to the surface quickly and to avert stranded resources in light of the energy transition, gave approval to ENI to undertake a joint but single appraisal program in respect of the Eban Akuma discoveries, which discoveries are now known as the Eban Akuma complex. This approval was issued by a letter to ENI by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration dated 28 July 2022. It is therefore disingenuous and a policy of truth for the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition to project or suggest as it sought to do per its statement under reference. Subsequent to the approval of ENI's Eban Akuma program by the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration, ENI has undertaken appraisals of the Eban and Akuma discoveries and come to the conclusion that the 2 discoveries are commercial enough to merit investment for the field development and production. What has simply taken place is that following a successful outcome of a prior approved appraisal of the Eban Akuma discoveries, ENI has, as is required of it under the CTP Block 4 Petroleum Agreement, informed the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition of its determination that the discoveries are commercial and can be produced upon a later approval of a plan of development. The minority wonders how the Mahama administration, that have nothing to do with the drilling of the Akuma and Iban exploration wells, as well as approval of the appraisal program of the two discoveries, will all of a sudden claim that the results of an Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration approved appraisal program that has resulted in the declaration of commerciality are a credit to it. In Ghana's upstream petroleum industry, it is a contract or operator that has the duty of informing the state of the outcome of any approved appraisal program. That is what ENI did recently. The Mahama administration, for self-serving purposes, has sought to covet this normal reporting to a fanfare whose cost is attributable to it, even though it is barely 7 months in office. The Mahama administration ought to learn that the upstream sector requires a lot of patience and deliberate planning whose results are not attainable in such non-existent record times as it has disingenuously sought to communicate on the premises of statements of doubtful validity. For the record, the minority wishes to inform the Mahama administration that the following discoveries were made during the 8 years of the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. The Pecan Southeast, the contractor is Ake. It was discovered in 2018. It is projected. Initial estimated volume is 10 million barrels of oil. The Nyankom 1X, AGM, discovered in 2019. Initial estimate is 168 million barrels. The Afina 1X, Springfield, discovered in 2019. Initial estimation is 150 to 300 million barrels of oil. The Akuma 1X ENI, which is what we are talking about now, also discovered in 2019. The Iban 1X, 2021. The above table showing the discoveries will reveal that between 2018 and 2022, a total of 7 discoveries out of 6 wells drilled were made. ENI's Afrakuma 1X well resulted in 2 discoveries of what the geoscientists call the Abian level and the Cenomanian level, hence the count of 7 discoveries out of 6 wells that were drilled under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. Let the Mahama administration take note that these 7 discoveries cannot be appropriated by it as having occurred under its watch. The MPP's record in the development of Ghana's hydrocarbon resources is one that is enviable and evidenced by reforms to the upstream sector's fiscal regime from the Kufuor Aliyu Mahama administration and the historic discoveries under the Akufo-Addo administration. Thank you very much. If there's any question, I'll leave the statement with you. If you have any question, we are ready and prepared to answer. My colleague has also joined. If it's okay also, then we just a few things. One of the claims, aside what you related against the previous administration, is that because of the unfavorable conditions in the sector, there were many multinationals, including ExxonMobil, that have dams. And so it's not just about exploration and discovery, but it's also production. How do you respond to that? So, Mr. Mahama has been, and His Excellency, and the NDC have been in power for 7 months. I'm not too sure whether they've put together a very conducive environment with just the 7 months for a drilling that started in 2029 to reach commercial level. I'm not too sure that is what you want to portray, commercial level. I'm not too sure that is what you want to portray. Of course, this is why businesses exit, but I don't buy the idea that we had a very hostile environment during our time. If we did, the ministry will not be announcing commercial level at this particular point in time, having been in power for just 7 months.
All right, Honorable, our colleagues from the peace-speaking listen are asking
so if there's no other question in English, we can proceed to that area. I can do that very short.
Yes. Thank you.
We can go now. Okay. It's anyone not for a share. Them say last week, and the Ministry of Energy, they cut a big bar one thing. The boy Amani say, Fangu be a na ye to dada. A doom be a potokase because a commercial level. Na omokata no de buy no. Unfortunately, no, omo intimi acknowledge effort previous government enunti ene omo ba ban mu within 7 months no. Omedru omay this particular announcement. You feel say as a minority, near say ye dey records no eto homo obi ehunu. Ejuma pa na Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. One na ban Dr. Bawumu Bawumia ene na pamfo omo no Ministry of Energy ene yetimi edru baby ayedru. In fact, in 2019, when ENI for discover Fangu war Cape 3 Point. In fact,
So that was the ranking member on the Energy Committee of Parliament, Collins Adumako, speaking there regarding that oil find off Cape 3 Points, the Eban Akuma discoveries. Well, he is announcing what, in his position, believes the timelines for the discoveries, which he says were made under the Eswal Akufo-Addo administration, adding on to the fact that ENI declared these finds as commercially viable then. I am Nana Tufo-Boateng. Many thanks for your time. Keep watching Channel One TV.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hot